sweet treats are always my favorite part of the day, which is why I'm so excited to talk to the Food Network Chef Mel about her new book all about dessert sweet treats from brownies to brioche, 10 ingredients, 100 recipes. Hey Mel, how are you today?
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so you're saying that these recipes all just have 10 ingredients?
Yes, so it's actually 10 main ingredients for 100 recipes, how to construct your pantry like a chef,
Ooh.
and also the utensils that you need to create those recipes.
So it's kind of like a one-stop like shop and prep, and then you're ready for most of those recipes?
It is. And then I also teach you the tips and tricks on how to create your own variation ingredients from those main ingredients. For example, granulated sugar, how you can transform that into light brown sugar, dark brown sugar, powdered sugar, or even vanilla sugar.
Well, that is very impressive. I'm psyched to hear a little more about this book. Why do you think now is the perfect time for you to write this one?
Because I think there are so many chefs out there, content creators, new and coming kind of cooks all over the place in the food industry, and having a staple book of master recipes that's not just recipes that you follow and you make once in a while, but like blanket recipes that allow you to create your own variation recipes, like learning how to make ice cream base and then being able to transform that into every flavor. So just having kind of like a basic to be able to depend on in the kitchen. I feel like everyone needs a little kitchen bestie.
So you're telling me this book is like the science part, right? Whenever I bake with my nephews, I tell them we have to follow the science part, and then when we add chocolate chips or whatever, like we can kind of do our own thing as long as we do the science part first.
Exactly. Like the first 60 pages of the book is really my favorite because it has like pie crust, sugar cookie dough, basic cookie dough, basic chocolate chip cookie dough, kind of like all blanket recipes, and also learning the fundamentals like how to make caramel, how to make puff pastry, how to make meringue, how to temper chocolate if you're using a microwave. So I just think that cooking has changed so much over the years, and being able to kind of adapt it to today is really, really important. And it's also a big time saver. And you create delicious, beautiful desserts like the mocha.
Oh.
And then there's a lot of like fancy also French desserts in here. Like this one is one of my favorites, the charlotte.
Oh, wow.
So you actually make your own lady fingers, construct your own cake, and then you can make this one into like a chocolate version or a coffee version and kind of create your own from there.
So that is so important, because the worst thing is if you're scrambling to find a recipe and like you don't understand what's being said in it, and then you screw it up. But you're kind of taking us through the basics first.
Exactly. And I also tell you what to do if you do screw up. So like there's a whole troubleshooting section in the back that's also like, my batter's too light, my batter's too creamy, my batter's too thick, what do I do? So it's kind of like your little kitchen bestie. That's the way I call it.
That's awesome. But it is important to still have that in book form, right? Like, yes, we have the internet, but when our hands are covered in ingredients and we're so stressed out because we did that thing wrong, figuring 100%. Out how to Google that is hard.
And we're also making this into a spiral edition.
Ooh.
So that it's going to be a lay flat version that you can have in the kitchen very easily.
That's awesome.
So that'll be really fun as well, and a lot more convenient. And then I created, for those who also want to like remake the recipe from the book, but not necessarily from scratch every day, Bake It with Mel has a whole line of like baking mixes that I created. So this is like the crepe mix and the matching little pink crepe pan. So there's lots of like little fun things that also give you really like, I think what was missing in the mixes and the kind of cake mix category was a chef creating recipes. So what better than a French chef to create traditional French crepe mix, I think.
We love it. All right, before we go, Mel, it's Get Outside Week on our show. So when you're not in the kitchen, when you're not baking and cooking, what do you like to do when you get a chance to actually go outside?
I have a golden doodle puppy. Her name is Caviar, and we love to walk and actually also take photos. So I have a dark room at home where I develop and process black and white photos.
Oh my gosh, so fun. Well, thanks for that fun fact and for chatting with us today. We'll be sure to send everybody online to get your book. Is there somewhere we should follow you online?
Oh yes, Bake It with Mel on TikTok, and Baking Boss Babe on Instagram. But everything can be found on bakeitwithmel.com, including the book Sweet Treats from Brownies to Brioche.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we are talking music with Sarah Reeves, and then we have a new Let's Try It. We have the mystery Doritos flavors. This is a flamin' hot mystery. We're going to find out what it is later today.